course not. They understood about that. And I had a ton of vacation time coming to me. They owed me that time off. If that had been an issue, they'd have let me go months ago. Then why? Sam asked, sounding gratifyingly bewildered. You gave that company a national presence. What's wrong with those ungrateful wretches? Gabby smiled at the fierce defense. Actually, it was the work that gave them a national reputation. I just spread the word. There you go, being all humble, but we both know the truth. Samantha hesitated, then asked, What are you going to do now, Gabby? Have you decided? I'm still trying to wrap my mind around what's happened, Gabby admitted, which was putting it mildly. With the severance package they gave me, I have some time. Well, you know some other company will scoop you right up. Call Dad. He has 1 million contacts in that whole biomedical research world down there. Maybe he'll even rethink his previous stance about not hiring family and hire you himself. Not now, Gabby said. Not only did she not want her father to know about the pregnancy just yet, she had a hunch it would pose a problem with other old-fashioned employers as well. As for her dad, well, his reaction wasn't something she was ready to contemplate. Why not now? Samantha pressed. Because I'm going to have a baby, that's why. She nearly choked on the sob that came with the words. Dead silence greeted the announcement before Samantha finally said softly, Holy saints in heaven. A baby, Gabby? Are you sure? Do you think I'd have mentioned it to my boss if I hadn't been sure? Gabby said dryly. And that's why they let you go? Samantha asked, clearly shocked. Isn't that illegal? Technically, they didn't let me go. They demoted me. So I negotiated a buyout, a win-win for everyone, according to Amanda. Who knew she was a better spin master than I ever dreamed of being? Gabby said, unable to keep a bitter note out of her voice. Okay, let's forget the job for the moment. It doesn't matter, Samantha said. The baby's Paul's. Gabby was grateful that there'd been no question mark at the end of her sister's statement. Of course. How'd he take it? As if I'd committed a felony. Needless to say, he's no longer in the picture. The rat, Samantha said with feeling. I never did like him. Despite the tense atmosphere, Gabby smiled. You never even met him. And that's precisely why I didn't like him. What kind of man doesn't want to meet his girlfriend's family? He never even showed his face when we were helping grandmother after the hurricane. And what a blessing that probably was. Give him a hammer, and he'd probably do more harm than good. Not what you need in a man, Samantha declared. Now, Wade Johnson, he's the kind of man to have around in a crisis. Gabby stiffened at the out-of-the-blue mention of the man who'd been underfoot non-stop while they were making repairs to the family restaurant, Castles by the Sea, after the hurricane. Why would you bring him up? Because he was around after the storm, just like Boone, and I saw the way Wade looked at you, as if he'd never seen anyone so perfect in his entire life. You're crazy. Let me remind you that I said the same thing to our sister about Boone, and look at the two of them now. In a few months, Emily and Boone will be married, assuming he can convince her to finally set a date. I'm good at this stuff, Gabby. I recognize heat between men and women, even when they're both in denial. Well, you're wrong this time. Besides, don't you think the timing is just a little off for me to be thinking about a relationship? I'm going to be having another man's baby in a few months. Samantha sucked in a deep breath at the reminder. Are you at least happy about that? She asked hesitantly. A baby, Gabby. That is so incredible. Gabby rested a hand on her belly, felt the faint stirring there. The first time she'd felt that tiny life inside her, she'd fallen in love. Being pregnant might be inconvenient. It might not have been the result of a love match. It might have cost her a job. But she already loved this baby more than anything. She'd do whatever it took to protect it and make sure it had everything it deserved, including 2 parents who would treasure this priceless gift when the time came. I'm thinking about adoption, she admitted to Samantha, deciding to test the idea she'd mentioned to no one else. Her words were greeted by stunned silence. Samantha, you still there? You'd give up the baby?
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.